Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome. Welcome for today's continuous discussion on Bhagavad Gita. So today is 22nd of May 2025. So we gathered here to go on a detailed studies on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So after a break yesterday, so we are meeting here again. So today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow is Friday, 23rd May. Is actually Ekadasi, Apara Ekadasi. So just a gentle reminder that all of you best to fast on this auspicious day. All right. So then, okay. So before we start, what we do, let's do an invocation prayer to invoke auspiciousness and blessings from all our acharyas and Guru Varga. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasacharistarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabana Vidavidaitai Kripabdai Krishna Sambandha Viknanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namustute Namaste Gauramani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambode Padam Bujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupai Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhav Bhumistum Nidasa Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubheva Paritanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Garotise Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhakta Vadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindorina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Vishnupada Krishna Satupari Shrimati Jayapataka Swami Tiram Nina Macharya Padai Nitya Kripa Pradayini Gaura Kadada Padai Hare Krishna. Let's continue our discussion. So we are okay. Okay. So now we are still on introduction. The Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode. Okay. So today we're going to discuss from here. So let's just do a quick recap. All right. So now we are studying through this introduction of Bhagavad Gita. So in the introduction is actually Srila Prabhupada is giving us what they call giving us all that information about every chapter. All right. So today we are going to, okay, Sanatan Dharma, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord and his translated about. Okay, so let's continue our discussion. So here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode. Okay, the Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode are both Sanatan. What is Sanatan means? Sanatan means eternal. All right, both are eternal, and as are the living entities. So now the statement here, it says that, okay, it says that the Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode, okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his transcendental abode, means like Vaikuntha, Goloka, are both Sanatan. Sanatan means what? Eternal. Okay, there's no time. And also the living entities, and also do the living entities. And the combined association of Supreme Lord and the living entities, okay, the combined association of the Supreme Lord and the living entities in Sanatana abode is the perfection of human life. So as we want to get perfected in human life, so what we should do is that combined association. Okay, so this is the, okay, so that means this is the combined association of the Supreme Lord and the living entities. Okay, so the combined association of the Supreme Lord and living entities is called the perfection of human life. Okay, it's called the perfection of human life. The Lord is very kind to all living entities. Is very kind to all living entities because they are his children, his sons. Lord Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yonishu Aham Bija Pradapita. That means he said, I am the father of all. Aham Bija Pradapita. All right, Pita. So I am the Aham Bija. That means I am the seed-giving father. So therefore, I am the father of all. Of course, there are always all types of living entities according to their various karma. That means there are many varieties of living entities according to their various karma. But here the Lord claims that he is the father of all of them. Father of all of them. So even you see any insects or whatever, everything is, Krishna is the supreme father. Therefore, the Lord descends. So now what happened? Prabhupada is explaining here. Therefore, the Lord descends. What descends means? The Lord came down, right? To reclaim all the fallens and the conditioned soul. All right. So they reclaim all these fallen and also the conditioned soul. So I was listening to Prabhupada's lecture yesterday. It's saying that where as long as we were in the fire, we still have the potential of fire in us. All right. We still have the potential of fire in us. But when we leave that fire, example like the spark, when the spark goes off, you know what happened? It loses the fiery potential. The potential of fire, they lose it when they become a spark. Then what happened? They fall down as a carbon. Or just imagine, just like for instance, when you take a seawater, a drop of seawater, when you dry it under the sun, when the seawater leaves the sea, is separated from the sea, it loses the potency, the watery potential or the sea potential. What happened? It turned into a salt. All right, it turns into salt. All right, because the watery potential gone, and now they remain as the salt potential. So similarly, when you see, as long as we are in the association of the Supreme, at the moment that we fell from the spiritual world, we have lost the whole entire spiritual potential that we had. We lost our spiritual potential. So after giving up the spiritual potential, we came down, we just fell off into this material world, just like how the spark falls out and turns into carbon, we falls out into this condition. That means they fall down into a material living entity in a material body. So in this material body, as you see, we are all conditioned. Why it's conditioned means? That means all of us have our separate belief system. Okay, according to the place that you grew up, the environment, the way the father brought you up, some or other. All right. Just imagine when we take 10 people to explain what they call, say like for instance, if I say, okay, now let's look at the tree. Now please explain what you see. All right. So we just put 10 people around the tree and let them see. And you know what? There's not a single person can come out with a common answer. I mean, other than it's a tree, it has branch, it has leaves and everything. We are not saying that. We are saying the observing. What can you see beyond the tree? What actually you can see? All right. So they all have different perspective. The different perspective according to the place, the way that I position them. Example, if a person is facing the tree where it's flowering, they perceive flower. But at the back of the tree, I place someone at the back of the tree, but the back of the tree, the flower has turned into fruit. All right. So he perceived the tree as a tree and he described as fruit. And the thing on the right, maybe should have hit by a lightning and that one entire branch has dried up. He sees in a different way. Right. And this another part of the tree, okay, the other side of the tree, then they see that there's a nest and there's a bird and the bird family. All right. So what happened? They see. So accordingly, so that means we are all conditioned according to environment. We are all conditioned according to environment. And that conditioning according to environment, first we get conditioned according to environment. And secondly, we are conditioned that we start to believe in that environment. We start to believe in that environment. All right. Example, when you see a cat, example, okay, give an example, cat who lives in a cat or dog lives in what they call in a slump. Okay, it goes around drinking dirty water, eating all the nasty things and all these things. Okay, you catch the cat, give him a good bath and bring it to the home and keep it to you and give all kind of comfort. The cat always remembers the slump. Okay, somehow or other the cat will run away from your house and goes. It's really happened. The cat remembers very clearly. You know, when I was young, my neighbor, my Malay neighbor, she had the whole cat family. You know, Malays love cats. This one cat, you know, which is quite notorious, all right, very like a gangster cat. So she can't take it. She went and gave it to ISPCA, all right, Ipoh Protection Against the Animal Cruelty or something like SPCA, all right. In Ipoh we call ISPCA. So she went and gave the cat. And ISPCA, if anyone from Ipoh, let me see who's from here. Okay, Vivan is there, right? From Ipoh. So I stayed in the area called Silibin. Okay. And the, say like Ipoh is a valley. I'm near the Keledang range. All right. And the place ISPCA is in Simpang Pulai. Simpang Pulai is the place where there is all that cross. That means the another form of mountain form. So there's a place where the cat was set. Roughly, I should say roughly approximately around 25 kilometers away. All right. She went there and left the cat there. After leaving the cat, right? So we have totally forgotten about it. You know, after 1 year, around 1 year plus, the cat actually returned home. The cat took 1 year to search back the place where it grew up. After 1 year, and of course, it had some burn mark. That means that somebody have taken a hot water and poured on it. There's some burn mark and everything. Suddenly, she got a shock. We heard her crying in the morning, you know. I said, what happened to her? Then went up. Then my mother asked, what happened? Oh, you know, you look at the cat. It returned back after 1 year. Oh my God, the cat remembers. So this is what the conditioning is all about. We are all conditioned according to the material nature. Even the animal is conditioned. The place where it's born and grew up, the place it's become very distinct. All right. Like for instance, like some people who left a tribal village and goes to civilization. All right. It goes to, say, like he goes to America, London, or may come to Malaysia or what. Even though he's here, his mind is still there. So at every given chance, he like to go back to his tribe and dress up like a tribe, you know, go to the tribal village and start to be like a tribal person. So this kind of conditioning, even in this life, is very hard to give up. You know, and what happened? But we have been conditioned in this material world for time immemorial. We have been conditioned in this material world for eternity. Imagine how many million trillions of birth you have taken in many, many kind of form. That's why sometimes when a person who are going to pass away, they are so much in anxiety. What is that anxiety? Because they've been conditioned in this kind of life, in this kind of family, in this kind of environment. And for them to move on to the next environment, to next this thing, they couldn't perceive the idea. They couldn't perceive the idea. But what happened to the devotees? The devotee realizes, all right? Because for a devotee, it's a journey, all right? It's a journey. That means you're going towards, now you finish your level 1, you're going to level 2. You know, sometimes when you are like you're going for karate or taekwondo, when you finish your level 1, you'll be very excited to go to the level 2, get a new belt. From white belt, you get a yellow belt. Yellow belt, you get some other color belt. Ultimately, you want to get a black belt, right? So evolvement. So it's very exciting. But for a non-devotee, it's such a traumatizing situation. So they understand, Krishna understand that the what they call his children are so much conditioned in that environment, he doesn't want to go away. Right? He doesn't want to go away. Like sometimes when we take our children to a waterfalls or to the swimming pool, when we are calling them come out, they don't want to come out because they're so much conditioned. They just doesn't want to come out from the pool until the father sometimes have to go down to the waterfalls and drag them out. So they have to go down. Therefore, the Lord descends because the Lord is understood that every one of us are so much into this kind of environment. So he descends to what? To reclaim. He came down just to reclaim all these fallen, conditioned souls. Okay, you have to distinct. So the reason, okay, what is the purpose of our studies here? Why are we studying? What is the purpose? What are we supposed to achieve in these studies? So the purpose of this study is to recondition our mind. You know, we have Bhagavad Gita, we have Srimad Bhagavatam, we have studied this in Nectar of Instruction. In Nectar of Instruction, then the commentary on Nectar of Instruction. Then we are doing this Nectar of Devotion. Then later we'll study that commentary on Nectar of Devotion. You know, then like that, we're going to go on study for what? To recondition, to reboot our constitutional position, to make us convince that actually this is not a place for us. And also to convince us the way back home, back to Godhead. What are the characters you should have? You know, the behavior. So all that we learn. So therefore the Lord descends himself just to condition soul, to call them back to the Sanatan eternal sky. All right? To go back to the eternity. Come. Why are you staying here in a temporary place? You know, like the father of a millionaire asking the son, why are you staying in a slump? I've got a palace at home. We got a palace. Come back. Come back. So that the Sanatan living entities, so now you say the Sanatan living entity or the eternal living entities may regain their eternal Sanatan position. So they may regain their eternal Sanatan. That means we have a position in spiritual world. So now we're going to regain it back in the eternal association of the Lord. So therefore the Lord come down himself. He comes down himself. First, he sent all his agents. He sent the agents of 33 million devas. Then he sends the agent of what they call the Maya Devi. You know, it gives you all kind of heartbreak and all kind of conditioning and everything. All right. After you're really wants to know where's the truth, so he come down to give the truth. So the Lord comes himself in different varieties of incarnation. Okay, in different kinds of incarnation. And what is the reason he sends he come down in different kind of incarnation? Because every time he incarnate, he has a purpose. All right. What is that purpose? So the purpose is to re-establish the dharma by killing by annihilating the demoniac miscreants. All right, the miscreants, what they call the mentality of demons. All right, we get this thing. So every time he comes down in many varieties of situation. Like Prahlad is a 4-year-old son. So what we can understand from that? 5-year-old. What we can understand from that? All right, there's so many things we can understand from that. You know, if the father is a great demon, it is not necessary the son also will become a demon. You know, if the father is a great devotee, it's not necessary also for the sons to become a great devotee also. You know, because when you look at Hiranyakasipu, such a great demon, Indra and all the devas wanted to kill the wife because she was pregnant. They don't want another demon to appear, you know. But that demon son, all right, who is a demonic in nature, Asura, he became a great devotee of Krishna. Why? Because he associated with Narada Muni. Because when Narada Muni was talking to her, pacifying the wife, all right, and he heard everything. That's why we also must understand when the mother is pregnant, we should always think good, do good, and all this kind of thing, because they are also listening. Okay. So then, so first thing we learned that. And secondly, even as a child, there's no guarantee the parents will protect you. You know, nowadays we say the Hiranyakasipu wanted to kill his own son. It was quite astonishing to hear. But now in modern society, the mother who is so loving are killing their own child in the womb by abortion. The man don't want to take any responsibility over the child. Therefore they even choose to kill the child, or they even choose to sell the daughter. Especially when you see in certain place in India, in the world, they like to sell off the daughter because no money. All right, they sell off the daughter to old men to get them married. All these kind of nasty things is happening. All right. So despite all this kind of horrifying situation, so what Prahlad did, no matter what challenges he got, he simply depended on Krishna. First, he was thrown from the mountain. When he went to the mountain, he threw him down. He just remembered Vishnu. All right. He was not afraid at all because he's fully dependent. Just like a child, when you take a baby and go and put on the balcony, show them down, the child doesn't know anything. Because the child is so comfortable believing that the father will be holding them. All right. Then after that, it was sent to be trampled by elephant, tied on the middle of the small river where the elephant will be passing. And all the wild elephant passed, but somewhere or other, the elephant didn't kill him. Then what else he did? Then after that, he tried to, then he put him in between of the dungeon of the snake, throw him in the dungeon and sent all that dangerous snake. But the snake never even harmed him. Because when he saw the snake, Prahlad remembered Ananda Shesha. You know? So nothing happened. Then after that, at last the father said, okay, I can't take it anymore. All these flowers are useless flowers. Let me kill myself. So what happened? He took the milk with the poison and told the son, I want you to drink. Okay, this poison. And told the mother to give. But somehow or other, out of law or lamentation, the mother came and gave that poison. And yet Prahlad drink and nothing happened to him. Okay. So what we can understand from the story of this is, because the reason he descend in different incarnation to give us conviction, the Lord is always there in multifarious form to protect you from all sort of danger, so that you could simply remember Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. You do not need to fear anything else in this life. You do not need to think, oh, I am the protector, I am the doer. You know, if anything happened to my son, what am I going to do? If my children are not well educated, what they're going to do? If this thing happened, what they're going to do? All this kind of anxiety and stress are always naturally is there because of conditioning. So all the incarnations are coming there to convince, to give us assurance. Krishna says, I will protect you from all kind of danger. All right, I protect you from all kind of sin. But how? How are you going to protect? So Krishna did this drama, this kind of screenplay. He came in the form, you know, he came in all varieties of form, and the form that we can't even think of. He came as a wild boar, you know, Katupandi, right? Wild boar, to save the Mother Earth and to annihilate Hiranyaksha. You know, he could go to that extent to protect his devotees. Krishna will go to any this thing, you know. So then after that, he protected. He killed the demon in a horrifying way. And after that, he only get, then after that, just to prove us a point that we could really just go on simply depending on Krishna without worrying anything else. We have no worries at all because Krishna has come in all different incarnations. All right. Varaha, Kurma, Matsya, no, Matsya, the fish incarnation, then Ramachandra, at last Kalki. All right. So all these kind of many varieties of incarnations are there. So to convince us and to further convince him, convince that point, then he also sends his confidential servants. All right. Confidential servants. That means he sent because it takes a diamond to cut a diamond. Similarly, it takes a human to train another human being. All right. It takes so he has to come down in the human form to train the human. Human can train any kind of animal. He can pacify the snake, can train the snake to dance. He can make the lion to dance. He can make the elephant to sing or dog to speak. All these kind of men can do. But to train a man, he needs another man, another human. Therefore, what Krishna did, he sent all his confidential servants. He can send what? And confidential servants as sons and his associates or acharyas to reclaim the conditioned soul. So he sent all these kind of people just to convince, just to further enhance us. All right? To further enhance us. That means to speak to us personally. Like for instance, this Bhagavad Gita was written by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna didn't come down and write this Bhagavad Gita and translate it into English and publish it and give everybody. No. He sent his confidential representative. Now you go, translate this into English speaking language. Make it available for everybody. So that is the job of Acharya. And of course, his confidential servant, what they will do, like a devotee, what they will do, they will take the book and go and deliver it around. They're like a delivery man. Deliver around and be like a Siksha Guru to convince them, come on, this is the real path. Right? So this is the thing we understand from this paragraph. Any question? Therefore, just give me a second. The sun is bright. All right. So therefore, Prabhupada continue. Sanatan Dharma does not refer to any sectarian process of religion. We must always remember this. All right. So what does that mean? So that means he said, therefore, Sanatan Dharma, which is the eternal activity, eternal way of life, eternal place is there, eternal living entity and all these things, does not refer to any sectarian process of religion. We must remember that. So Sanatan Dharma, it doesn't set to any sectarian process of religion. Sectarian means what? See, when you take a square, there's a section. You take a house, there's a section. Or that is the kitchen section. That is the master bedroom section. So there is a divide, right? So that's why they say sectarian means there is a section in human form of life. So it's not sectarian process of religion. Okay? Sanatan Dharma does not refer and is the eternal function. It is the eternal function of eternal living entities in their relationship with the eternal Supreme Lord. So we should understand that is Sanatan Dharma, that means this doesn't function for anyone. It is for every living entity, every human being, every religiosity. So all that religiosity, there's a diversion. When you talk about Hinduism, Islam, Christian, and all these kind of things, it's like a groupism. All religion was given to human being according to the time, place, and circumstances by all selected acharyas or the empowered devotees. Because if they're not empowered, they cannot create this kind of religion. Right? So therefore, that's why they say sometimes say, oh, Hare Krishna, are you a Hindus? No, we are not. Technically, we are under the banner of Hinduism. It's only a technicality because he comes from India and he somehow or other is under the banner of that. Right? So we are not. So we are called the eternal Sanatana Dharma. So Hinduism is part of that Sanatana Dharma. Hinduism is part of it. How about Islam? Yes, it's also part of Sanatana Dharma because they also love God. They pray 5 times. They have so much of dedication in their prayers. They truly believe that Allah will take care of them. You know, they truly believe that Nabi Muhammad is their messenger. If they don't have that kind of taste, mellow, rasa, definitely they can't do all this. So it's also part of Sanatan Dharma. And how about Christianity? Yes, there's so many pious Christians who praise the Lord, who believe that Jesus is the Lord, who believe that Lord will come back, who believe that Lord lives forever, past, present, and future. He's always loving. He always loved you. He always loving you and will be always going on loving you forever. So they have a strong faith in that. Also, Sanatan Dharma is all partial, part of that Sanatan Dharma. So now that's the thing. So this belongs to everybody. So one thing in common is what? Love of God is there. Love of God is there. So to express the love, there is many method all these sectarians are using. All right, but here is Sanatan Dharma is what we understand the actual Sanatan Dharma under the Sanatan Dharma tree. Our actual goal is to go back home, back to Godhead. And what we should do, we should just understand our constitutional position. Lord is eternal. Lord's place is eternal. And I, as a living entity, also eternal. All right. When these two things are waiting for you, but I am being conditioned. Okay. So I need to remove that, recondition myself. I need to distinct, because as a human body, we have to condition. Say, like, for instance, like this computer, now I'm using. So now, then after that, I went and I erased everything. I can't still use the computer. So I have to put in some new conditioning, new software. Similarly, we are getting rid of all our corrupted software. We are putting a delete all. We are getting rid, and we are putting in some new software that is to establish our eternal relationship. So now, Sanatan Dharma also refers, as stated previously, that eternal occupation of the living entity. It is also called the eternal occupation. All right. All of us have some kind of occupation. All right. Or eternal duty. Okay. Every one of us, even a person who don't have nothing to do, who also has occupation. He is doing then to do nothing. He is also doing something. So, but there is something called the eternal occupation. All right. So that is this thing. So Sripad Ramanujacharya, who is the Acharya for Sri Vaishnava, explained the word Sanatan as that which has neither beginning nor end. So Sanatan means is the Sanatana. Sanatana means for eternity. Eternity means there's something that doesn't begin and that doesn't end. All right. So you all understand? So where can you recall this statement? Can anyone tell me? Where do you recall this statement, Sanatan, that has no beginning, no end? Anyone remember? Even? Do you remember? Am I audible? Are you listening to me? Yeah, sorry. Are you hearing me? Okay. Okay, Nandadevi Mataji and all. Do you remember where we studied that Sanatan eternity? What does it mean? There's no beginning, no end. Where can you apply that? No? Don't know? Okay. Remember in Bhaktiya, yes, someone is unmuted. Okay. Remember in Bhaktiya Loka, what do you call his name Bhakti Vinod Thakur said? Devotional service is eternal. All right. There is eternal. So a devotee don't care about the past. It doesn't matter what is his past. And he doesn't aspire for future, because for devotee, there's no future. Why? Because the devotee practicing devotional service, every second is engaging devotional service. Every moment is relishing great nectarian feeling. All right. So therefore, for him, there's no beginning and there's no end. Every moment. For instance, if you're not satisfied or not happy, there is a tomorrow I can do, or tomorrow I can do this. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'm going to do this. Okay, that is for other material kind of duty, you can do that. But for devotional service is no. Okay, today I am free. What can I do? I just take the japa back and start chanting. All right. And I carry my Bhagavad Gita wherever I go. Remember, I used to tell everyone to carry your Bhagavad Gita. You know, while waiting in a clinic, waiting for appointment, just can open a Gita and start read one paragraph. You know, so you're going to engage yourself. Whenever you are out of any attention, you're out of any of this, you immediately go back and start to listen to Kirtan, listen to Bhajan, or start to chant Hare Krishna, or going to read some kind of books. So it's an eternal duty. All right. So then when we speak about Sanatan Dharma, we must take it, we must take it for granted. So what Prabhupada says, we always say we don't take for granted. We don't. But here Prabhupada explaining, we must take it for granted on the authority of Sripad Ramanujacharya. That is as neither beginning and there's no end. This is what Bhakti Vinod Thakur nicely explained in Bhaktiya Loka. All right. I hope you all remember that. Okay. Now let's look at the word religion. So the English word religion, okay, the English word religion is a little different from Sanatan Dharma. The word religion is a little different from Sanatan Dharma. So religion conveys the ideas of faith. It conveys the ideas of faith, and faith may change. The faith can change. All right. So one may have faith in a particular process, and he may change his faith to adopt another. But Sanatan Dharma refers to that activity which cannot be changed. All right. For instance, liquidity cannot be taken from water. Can you remove the liquidity from the water? No, you can't. Because liquidity is water and water is liquidity. ஈரமா இருக்கிறது தண்ணி, தண்ணி இருந்தா ஈரம். ரெண்டும் சேம் தான். அந்த தண்ணில இருந்து ஈரத்தை நம்ம வெளியாக்க முடியாது. Okay. Nor can heat be taken from the fire. Okay. நெருப்புல இருந்து வெப்பத்தை வெளியாக்க முடியாது. We can't remove the heat from the fire. Similarly, the eternal function of the eternal living entity cannot be taken from the living entity. Right? All the eternal function. All right? மனிதனோட இயற்கையான நிரந்தரமான செயல் மனிதன்ட்டு வெளியாக்க முடியாது. We can't remove it from them. So Sanatan Dharma is what? So therefore Sanatan Dharma is eternally integral of the living entity. All right? It's a eternally act of a living entity. Integral is part of him. சரியா? ஐக்கியமானது. மனிதனோட ஐக்கியமானது. So when we speak Sanatan Dharma, therefore we must take it for granted for the authority of Sripad Ramanuja that it has neither beginning and there's no end. That which is neither end nor beginning must not be sectarian. All right. So that's something that doesn't end and doesn't begin. Usually this thing cannot be sectarian. You understand? Say for instance, now we have varieties kind of human being. All right. Some Malays are there, Chinese are there, Indians, Punjab, all varieties of people are there. All right. So they brought up in their different culture, character, religion. Yes. But they have something in common. The pain, the pleasure, happiness, distress, frustration, anxiety, then blissfulness is same. The same way you are under anxiety is the same way that another person also under anxiety. The anxiety level is same. When they create drugs, they cannot give it's a Malay drugs, it's a Chinese drugs. It's a drug for everybody. If you're having a headache, you take Panadol, that's all. It's one drug that can heal headache for all varieties of people. All right. Therefore, so why he says that? So since Sanatan Dharma, there's no end, there's no beginning. So these kind of things cannot be sectarian. Are you all following me? It's very important, this thing. Are you all following me? Put a thumbs up. All right. Okay. Because it cannot be limited by any boundaries. It cannot be limited by any boundaries. Those belonging to some sectarian faith. All right. Now Prabhupada is explaining here. Right. He's saying that those belonging to some sectarian faith will wrongly consider that Sanatan Dharma is also sectarian. So these are belong to some sectarian, like some other religious process. They can wrongly consider, they can make a mistake by consider that Sanatana Dharma is also sectarian. So Sanatana Dharma, it is Hindus. They make a mistake, right? So, but if we go deeply, all right, into the matter to consider and consider the light of the modern science, it is possible for us to see that Sanatana Dharma, it is the business of all people in the world, nay, all the living entities in the universe. All right, what is nay means? Or in other words, all right, so it says, like, for instance, it is the business for all the people of the world. Then no, it is all, it's me, it's what they call, it is a dharma for all living entities in this entire universe. So Prabhupada says about world, no, actually it's not world, even the entire universe, this is the same kind of Sanatan Dharma. All right, now non-Sanatan religion, now Prabhupada is explaining non-Sanatan religion, faith may have some beginning in the annals of human history. All right, when you look at that non-Sanatan religion, they may have some kind of, all right, the non-Sanatan religious faith, non-Sanatana, faith may have some beginning in the annals. Annals means what? History. All right, annals means history. They may have some beginning in the history of human, in the annals, the books. All right, annal means book of history. Okay, the books of human history. Okay, but there is no beginning to the history of Sanatan Dharma. If you look at all the other religious process, there you can find some kind of beginning. All right, it was founded by this person and like this, like that. Okay, it has some kind of beginning. But for history of Sanatan Dharma, there's no beginning, because it remains eternally with all the living entities, because it's already eternally inside all the living entities. Insofar as the living entities are concerned, the authoritative Shastra state that living entity has neither birth nor death. Okay, so when you talk about the living entities, all right, concerned, the authoritative states, the authorized Vedas state that the living entity has neither birth nor death. They don't born and they don't die. In Gita, it is stated that the living entity is never born and he never dies. He is eternally and indestructible. He is eternal and indestructible. All right. So eternal, indestructible. That means, so when a person dies, right? Actually, what dies? Only the body dies. The person's still alive. All right. It drops the five senses, the sense perception, everything it drops. Then he moves to the next one. Right. So then he will be, like, example, when a person takes to hell. All right. The soul can never be burned, can never be moist. But the soul will accept what they call the false ego, ahankar, false ego, mind intelligent, will accept another subtle body to go there to suffer the misery. When you really look at it, the one that suffers the misery is not the soul, is that perception, false ego, false identification. The soul is always hankering to go back to the original position. You know, just like you take a bird and put in a cage. Doesn't matter the cage is made of gold, but still the bird is not really happy living in that cage. So what is the nature of the bird? It wants to fly free and go back to its habitat, go back to its people. All right. So similarly, when we are all as a soul, we have that strong desire, but the problem is we are covered. We are covered by subtle form. We are covered by these five gross form. You know, Kshetra, Kshetranya, say Kshetra, the field of activities. So the soul has been overruled. The soul has been overruled. Okay, it's been conquered. So it doesn't allow them to think. So it is and he contains to live after the destruction of the temporary material body. Even after the destruction of the temporary material body, the soul go on living. In reference to the concept of Sanatana Dharma, we must try to understand the concept of religion from the Sanskrit root. Okay, we must understand the concept of religion from the Sanskrit root, remaining Dharma. Dharma refers to that which is constantly existing with a particular object. Okay, dharma means what? To which that constantly existing is always existing and also existing with a particular object. So we conclude that there is a heat along with the fire. So we conclude that there is a heat along with the fire. Without heat and light, there is no meaning to word fire. All right, there's no, suddenly you see something flaming, you go there, you touch, there's no heat. All right, and there's no light. So that means we don't understand, it doesn't have a meaning of fire there. Similarly, we must discover, Prabhupada say, the essential part of the living and being, and that part which is constantly companion, right? That constant companion of this eternal quality and the eternal time, okay, that is his eternal religion. The constant companion, all right, in his eternal quality and that eternal, quality and that eternal quality. The eternal quality is actually is eternal religion. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. All right. Now it's 10:50, 10:52. Shall we take a short break? Okay. So we take a short break, then we come back again. Just a few minutes. Today everyone's so quiet. Okay. We continue our reading. Now we are at this. Okay. When Sanatan Goswami, you all remember who is Sanatan Goswami? Elder brother of Rupa Goswami. So, asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about Swarupa of every living being. He asked about the Swarupa. The Lord replied that Swarupa, Swarupa we understand as constitutional position. Okay, the original position of the living being, it's the rendering of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we analyze the statement of Lord Chaitanya's, we can easily see that every living being is constantly engaged. Every living being is constantly engaged in rendering service to another living being. A living being serves one living being in various capacities, all right? A person serving others in various capacity, right? We cannot stay aloof from serving others. Some or other we are serving others. By doing so, the living entities enjoys life. You know, the lower animal serves human being as a servant, serves their master. As A serves B, A serves B master, B serves C master, and C serves D master, and so on. Under these circumstances, we can see that one friend serves another friend, the mother serves the son, the wife serves the husband serves the wife, and so on. If we go on searching in this spirit, it will be seen that there is no exception in the society of the living being to be actively of service, from the activity of service. All right, we can't find anybody who doesn't do service. The politician presents his manifesto. All right, the politician sometimes when during the election they present their manifesto to the public. For what? To convince them of the capacity for service. The voters therefore give the politician their valuable votes, thinking that he will render valuable service to the society. The shopkeeper serves the customers, and the artisan serves the capitalist. The capitalist serves the family, and the family serves the state in the terms of eternal capacity of the eternal living being. In this way, we can see that no living being is exempt from rendering service to other living beings. Therefore, we can safely conclude that service is the constant companion of the living being, and that the rendering of the service is the eternal religion of the living being. All right. So that means rendering service is the eternal religion of the living being. It's an eternal religion. All right. Yet men profess to be a particular faith. All right. So sometimes, yet the man will profess that he belongs to a particular faith, reference with particular time and circumstances. Okay. And thus claims to be Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, or an adherent any other sect. Such designations are non-Sanatan Dharma. Okay, please underline this thing. All right, these kind of designations are non-Sanatan Dharma because it's sectarian. A Hindu may change his faith. Prabhupada is actually, Hindu may change his faith to become a Muslim, right? So a Hindu can convert, or a Muslim may change his faith to become a Hindu, or a Christian may change his faith and so on. So we can simply change our faith accordingly, right? We can simply change our faith. No, I'm a Hindu today, and then I convert to Christian, then I find it is not nice, then I convert to Muslim. So I can simply change my faith. But in all circumstances, the change of religion faith, in all circumstances, the change of religious faith does not affect the eternal occupation of rendering service to others. Right? Even though that you can simply change your faith, but that doesn't change your activity of serving others. Example, a doctor or a Hindu doctor marries a Malay and convert to Islam. All right, once he convert to Muslim, he still have to come and see the patient and serves the patient. It doesn't change. That doesn't change. Only the faith and his ideology at that particular moment changes. The Hindu, Muslim, or Christian in all circumstances, servant of someone, no matter what. Thus, to profess a particular faith is not to profess one Sanatan Dharma. That means to profess a particular faith is not to profess Sanatan Dharma. All right, it is not mentioning the Sanatan Dharma. The rendering of service to the rendering of service is called Sanatan Dharma. Factually, we are related to the Supreme Lord in service. Okay, we are related to Supreme Lord in service. The Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer, and we living entities are his servitors. We are created for his enjoyment. We are actually what? Created for his enjoyment. And if we participate in that eternal enjoyment with the Supreme Lord, we become happy. You got it? We cannot become happy otherwise. It is not possible to be independent. Okay, not possible to be independently, happy independently. It's not possible. You can be happy independently. Just as there's no part of the body can be happy without cooperating with the stomach. Example, all the part of the body cannot be happy without cooperation of the stomach. Because the food goes to the stomach, the entire body becomes relished. It is not possible for the living entity to be happy without rendering transcendental living service unto the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, all right, in Bhagavad Gita is also mentioned, or rendering service to the, worships of different demigods. In Bhagavad Gita, worship of different demigods or rendering service to them is not approved. Okay, it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Right, it says that the worship of different devas and to render service to them, it is not approved. It is stated in where? In 7th chapter, 20th verse. Kamaistaistairhirtanyana prapatyantenya devata tang niyamam astaya prakritya niyatasvaya. Those who intelligent. All right, now let's okay, this is quite important. Let me get this thing. Those whose intelligence has been stolen. The intelligence that has been stolen by who? By material desire. All right, who was stolen by material desire. So the material desire means to enjoy life according to the sense perception. So what they do, they surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulation. They follow the particular rules and regulation to worship according to their own nature. All right. So here it's plainly said that those who are directed by lust. All right. Those who are directed by lust. Okay, what is lust actually? All right. Of course, there's one of the lust is, of course, lust over opposite sex. But actually, the word lust also can refer as uncontrolled desire or burning desire. The desire that I must have it. I must have that Mercedes Benz no matter what. My ultimate goal of life. I need to have that Mercedes Benz. So that's the thing that you cannot control. All right, that's called also lust. So it says that those who are directed by lust, they worship the demigods. They worship the demigods and not the Supreme Lord Krishna. Right? Because when we talk about devas, whenever we pray, why the devas are becoming very popular, I mean, the things are like, you see a lot of deva temples, especially Hindus are all majority, 99.9% are deva worshippers. Why? Because when we worship the devas, our desire will be fulfilled very quickly. we can be very quickly, because they are part of the material nature, all right, that their duty is to entangle you in your lust, entangle you. Say, like, for instance, whatever blessings that you get from the devas, it doesn't last, and it also create trouble. Like when Brahma gave that boon to Hiranyakasipu, he went and terrorized the whole world. When Lord Shiva gave the boon to Ravana, he terrorized the whole world, like that. So any kind of independent worship of the devas, all right, it is not recommended. Okay, when we mention the name Krishna, we do not refer to any sectarian name. Okay, when we mention name Krishna, we do not refer. So the word refer, Krishna means also can be a sectarian. No, Krishna means the highest pleasure, and is confirmed in Supreme Personality of Godhead in reservoir. Okay, it's confirmed that the Supreme Lord is the reservoir and the storehouse of all pleasure. All right, we are all hankering for that pleasure. Ananda Mayo Vyasat, Vedanta Sutra. It's mentioned. Ananda Mayo Vyasat. So the living entity of the Lord, like the Lord, are full of consciousness, and they are after happiness. We are all moving and going towards happiness. The Lord is perpetually happy. And if the living entity associate with that Lord, cooperate with him and take part in his association, then they also become happy. The Lord descends to the mortal world to show his pastimes in Vrindavan. So the Lord descends to this mortal world to show the pastimes of Vrindavan, which is full of happiness. All right, he brought down the entire thing just to showcase, this is what I do in Vrindavan. Right? So he came to what they call to show his pastimes of full happiness. When Lord Sri Krishna was in Vrindavan, his activity with his coward boyfriend and his damsel friends, with other inhabitants Vrindavan, and with the cows, were all full of happiness. The total population of Vrindavan knew nothing but Krishna. But Lord Krishna even discouraged his father Nanda Maharaj. Okay, even discouraged his father Nanda Maharaj from worshipping the demigod Indra. He, in fact, discouraged, because he wanted to establish the fact that people need not worship any demigods. All right. The idea about worshipping is to come out of this place. We do not pray. Like, for instance, right? You what they call a jail warden is actually an agent of the king. The agent of the king has give that power to the jail warden to punish the criminals, right? So now, if you go and worship the jail warden, okay, what can he give you? You can pacify him. He can give you maybe some extra ration. Example, if your ration in the prison is 2 chapati, maybe the jail warden can give you extra 1 chapati. That's all. All right. The jail warden can give you extra 1 chapati. Oh, he always worship me, give him extra 1. Other than that, can he remove you from that condition of in the prison? He can't do that. But if you worship the king, you always think, meditate, you just repent, follow the king's order, you repent. You promise not to do that crime anymore. You surrender to the king's order. You surrender to the king's order. So when then the king will send his representative to come and check out the prison. When the representative feel, well, okay, you're good, you have already behaved yourself, and he will go and give recommendation to the king, please take him out. I think he's a good boy. He's already changed. Then the king will pardon him and remove him from the jail or even death sentence. He can pardon. But what can a warden do? No matter how much of things that you glorify, worship the warden cannot do anything beyond that. The warden cannot just open the door and say, now you go out. He can't do that. Okay. Similarly, the prayers, the worship of that means to direct the worship. The worship is supposed to be directed to Krishna. When we are directing it to someone else, it's an offense. Your loyalty to the king. If you are not showing the loyalty to the king, but you disregard the king, but you're showing loyalty to his minister, what will happen? You can be also punished so severely. If it's China, you can be killed. Even in so it's all these things. So that means the devas cannot liberate you. So the word worship is wasting our energy, our time. But then when we see the deva temple, what we should do? We should offer obeisances and respect and pranam, because they are the superior being that has been created to look after you. They are the ones superior being to look after you, to take care of you, to give you the necessary supply. Agni Deva give you heat. Surya Deva give you sunlight. Varuna Deva gives you water. Indra Deva gives you torrents of rain. Chandra Deva nourishes the plant. Like that, all the devas and like Lakshmi, what they call it? This is what they call Kubera gives money. Lakshmi and Kubera, they gives monetary. Saraswati gives education. You got it. So that's their job, right? So but what we need to do is, when we direct when we establish our relationship with Krishna, the devas are more pleased with you. They are very, very pleased with you. Example, say like I am the chief minister or leader of a party in my house. I see so many people are coming to see me. All right. So many people are coming to see me. I got a guy who queue up there to see me. He's coming with $1 million in his what they call bag, because he wants my favor. He want to give me donation for my party. Then another place coming with so much. I say, no, the guy who actually supported you and make you won, he's there queuing up. There's so many, all your well wishes, all your hardcore what they call hardcore supporters are all there waiting to get your darshan. So while I'm sitting there and I'm just looking at, okay, all the people are here. I see the people who are my great supporter. I see the guy who supported me financially. I see all the person are there. All the person who make me win that election is there. While waiting for them, suddenly a representative of the king or the prime minister comes to see you. So what I do? I immediately shoo them away. I said, no, okay, all of you, I cannot see you now. I close the door and I welcome the king's representative with full respect of the prime minister. Say the prime minister, come and see me. I show all respect to the prime minister and all his representative, and I take instruction. This thing. So I want to have darshan of this, the representative of the king or the prime minister. So the king is send a person, okay, now you're going to see this minister, he won that election, go and congratulate him. Example. When he come to see me, I have to shoo everybody away. The reason I won is because of these people. But when the representative of the king comes, I have to shoo them away. Similarly, when you are a devotee of the Lord, when you are very sincere in your worship, if you go to any Deva temple, when the Deva temple is all surrounded by all his hardcore devotees, but when you go there, stand there, all the Devatas will pay attention to you. They say, okay, all of you wait. There's a devotee here. So, being a devotee, you are also pleasing the Devas. The Devas will be very pleased to see you. Because the Deva have seen that you have gone through so many life of in ignorance. At last you realized. The Devas. So that's why sometimes when you go to Taipusam, what you should do? You take the milk pot, offer to Krishna. Offer the milk to Krishna and take it to Lord Muruga. Among all the bathing ceremony that had to him, he will remember your pot of milk. And he'll be very favorable to you. Okay, it's a long story, all right? I used to speak this in a Gita Gyan program. Anyway, once we come to the topic, we will discuss that in further. So the abode of Lord Krishna described in Bhagavad Gita in 15th chapter and 6th verse. Chapter 15, verse 6. He said, Na tat basayante suryo, na shashanko na pavaka, yad gatva na nivartante, tad dama paramang mama. The supreme abode of mind. Please underline this statement. It is not illuminated by the sun or the moon. That means there's no sun and there's no moon in Goloka Vrindavan or Vaikuntha Loka. And and not by fire or electricity. Those who reach there will never return to this material world. They will never return. Once you reach that area, you will never come back. This verse gives a description of eternal sky. Okay. Of course, we have material conception of the sky. We have the material conception of the sky. We think it is a relationship to the sun, moon, stars, and so on. Just imagine you go to Vrindavan, or you see the sun rising in the morning, at night you see the moon is rising. No, it's not that. So we try to imagine Goloka Vrindavan according to our material sense perception. So we think there's a moon, stars, and so on. But in this verse, Lord state that is eternal sky. There's no need for all these kind of things. All right. No need for any of these kind of, because the spiritual sky is already illuminated by Brahma Jyotir. Right? The place is already illuminated by Brahma Jyoti. That is the rays emanating from the Supreme Lord. So what Brahma Jyoti here means? The Brahma Jyoti here means do resident of Vrindavan sleeps? See, first of all, their service is eternal. When they start to look at Krishna, they see that forever. When they start to eat with Krishna, they eat forever, because everything is eternal. All right. So whether they sleep, I am not so sure. Because if you are in material condition of life, when you are tired, you need to sleep. But there's no such thing. There's no fatigue. There's no anxiety. There's no tiredness. No? It is forever. It's eternal. The Rasa Lila dance is eternal. Krishna never stopped dancing. And the boys, when he goes to take the cows to the grazing, is eternally they are grazing. Not everything is eternal. It's very unique. That's why using our sense perception, our material sense perception, we couldn't identify it. They eat. See, like for instance, we eat until to the level we become really bloated. We cannot eat further. So can we say, we go to Goloka Vrindavan, can we eat until we burp? Then we try to digest the food by sleeping? No. All right. Okay, let me remember. There's one place I remember already. They said everything is eternal in Goloka Vrindavan. So there's no fatigue, there's no anything. So everything is forever. Because there's always light, no more darkness. That's why. Yeah, exactly. You're seeing from that sense perception. There's always light and there's no darkness. All right. So we think that we only can sleep and it's turned dark, So there's always light. It's a kind of very beautiful, what they call, this thing. Say, like for instance, Jadurani Mataji, she draw the Goloka Vrindavan. I don't have that with me now. So the Goloka Vrindavan, this thing, how the pastime is happening and everything. It's almost like that. Krishna, in Krishna book mentioned, he always wake up in the morning before his wife and do meditation. All right, that is the pastime in this material world. That's a pastime in this material world. He's performing his ritualistic ceremony. He wakes up early, he meditate, then after that he do fire sacrifice, then after that he take and he donate cows to all the brahmanas. So that is that activity that he does when he was a king of Dwaraka. So this kind of activity you might be seeing in Dwaraka Loka. When you go to Goloka Vrindavan, there's a place called Dwaraka, where you see Krishna as the king. All right? Yeah, and he's along with his wives. But in Goloka Vrindavan, it's not like that. Very hard to imagine. Of course, very hard to imagine, but you can perceive within you. All right? So when you start to chant Hare Krishna very sincerely, the kind of things will be emanating in you. You could realize it. You can feel it. Because Krishna got so many pastimes. Say if you go to Goloka Vrindavan, right? First you go to Vaikuntha Loka. There are millions and millions of Vaikuntha Loka. Because there are so many incarnations. We are seeing that these earth incarnations, like see Varaha, we see that Matsya. But in other universes, we don't know what other incarnation Krishna might have taken. So all of them are grouped in one place called Vaikuntha. And they got millions and millions and millions of these things. So according to your desire, say if you're a staunch devotee of Narsingadev, you go to the Vaikunta planet called Ahobilam. Right? Oh, if I go to Ahobilam, can I come back? No, you won't come back. It is liberation. You'll never come back. After once you enter Vaikunta Loka, you never come back. Right? It depends on what kind of worship. Are you worshipping in awe and reverence? All the places, all these places, we worship Krishna in the awe and reverence. Bhaya Bhakti. All right. Then we go further up. We come to see first from the material world to the spiritual world, there is a border, Kailash. All right. So after after the border, we come to the place we call as Viraja River. You take your bath in Viraja River, you take your spiritual form. You give up your material form. You take your spiritual form. Then you go further. When you go further, then depends. So which Vaikunta Loka you're going to end up? You go into Swarupa Mukti. Sarupya. Sarupya means you have a form of Lord Vishnu. You'll be blue in color. You have 4 hands. You'll be very attractive, very beautiful. And if you take a feminine form, you take the form of Lakshmi. All that the servants of Mother Lakshmi who serves the Lord. So you take that form. Then you go further up, then you come to the place called Ramachandra. No, that means then from Vaikunta Loka to Goloka, there's another, in between, there's another one place we call, what Dham is that? Ayodhya Dham, where you see Lord Ramachandra and his associates. If you are a staunch devotee of Lord Ramachandra, you're going to end up there. So once you go there, depends what is your pastimes, right? Maybe you go there, you become the denizen, you become a resident of the kingdom of Lord Ramachandra. And every day you worship Lord Ramachandra as a king. Right? Then you go further. Then after, if you're not, then you go further up, you come into Goloka Vrindavan. In Goloka, there's many layers. The first outer layer of the Goloka, it is Jagannath Puri. If you're a staunch devotee of Jagannath Puri, you go to Goloka, but you stay in the place of Puri Jagannath. Right? The abode of Jagannath. So you worship Lord Jagannath in his form. Or you go further up, you come to Dwaraka. Dwaraka Puri. Dwaraka Puri, you come there, you come to Dwaraka. There you see Lord Krishna as a king with his 16,108 wives, along with his children, Yadavas and Yadus, and with all the Pandavas, the 5 brothers. You see them. All right? You go and stay in that kingdom. Still a little awe and reverence. Then you go further up, you come to Mathura. Mathura, you see the place where Krishna will be there with his mother and everything. Okay, it's a baby form. Those who attract to the form of baby or motherly, they end up in Mathura. Then you go further up, you go to Vrindavan. You go to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, what happened? That you see, you can see that you see the mountain. What mountain is that? Govardhan Hill. You see Radha Kund, Shama Kund, and you see both Radha and Krishna will be happily bathing and playing and having all these amorous pastimes, and you take so much of pleasure in that. And beside that Goloka, that nearby to the Goloka Vrindavan, you go to Navadvip Dham. Navadvip Dham, where you can see Lord Chaitanya and Mahaprabhu and all the associates will be dancing and singing in ecstasy. The pastime Lord Chaitanya is eternal. All right. So depends on where you want to go. But actually what we are trying, since we are under Gaudiya Vaishnava Parambara, we are not interested in Goloka, we are not interested in Kailash, we are not interested in Vaikunta Loka, we are not even interested in Ayodhya Dham. We are not also interested in Jagannath Dham, we are not interested in Dwaraka Dham. We just want to go to Goloka Dham, Vrindavan. We want to be the associate, we want to be the maid servant who prepares the joyous moment for Radha and Krishna. Example, today Radha and Krishna are going to go on a swing. So what they do? All the gopis, all the sakis, manjaris, they'll be preparing the swing. They'll take the rope and tie it on the tree. They prepare, they put all the thing. So what we do, we are the maid servant. Right? We are servant of the servant of the servant. So we pluck some forest flowers, we just make into that, we give them and they start to decorate it. So like that. So even then, after that, we see them, Radha Krishna comes and they enjoy. Vrunda Devi, Tulasi Devi is the one set the scene. All right. So we enjoy. And that pastime is eternal. And the hate of these servants are Rupa Manjari. All right. The department the department hate that in charge for serving the all the sakis and all these things is called Rupa Manjari. Okay. So Rupa Manjari. And Rupa Manjari is actually called Rupa Goswami. So we are under the Rupa Nugas. We are under the Rupa Goswami Parampara. So when we are under the Rupa Goswami Parampara, so Rupa Goswami, in other words, in our layman term, what we can say, Rupa Manjari is what they call canvassing for assistant. You get it? Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari came to the earth to canvass his assistant, her assistant. Hey, I need a lot of assistant, not enough. So I put a vacancy sign. So she comes down in the form of Rupa Goswami, associated with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He comes down and he starts to give all this kind of knowledge to us. And of course, we are all under Manjari Parampara, Rupa Goswami, then Kamala Manjari, then like that, there are many Manjaris, all right? We are under the Manjari Parampara. All right, we dance with Krishna, we have fun and everything. Okay, so in that, so she's coming to canvas to invite us to go back home, back to Godhead. That's why our literature, it is far superior. Our literature sometimes cannot be agreed by other Vaishnava Parampara. They can't say, no, Abhistu, Abhistu. How can I think about Krishna's loving pastime? How can I even think about that? For them is, Krishna is the king in the form of Narayana, and I worship him by singing all the hymns, and all the pujas and everything. So they are engaged 23.5 hours. They only allow the Lord to sleep for half an hour. When the Lord is just about to sleep, then suddenly, ting, 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 Kaushalya, Supraja, Rama, Purva, Sangya, Pravartate, they open they do the deity greeting. All right? They are 24 hours engaged in that time, because that's what Mother Lakshmi is always thinking how we can satisfy Lord Vishnu by serving him. So all her parampara, all assisting Mother Lakshmi to serve Lord Narayan. But in our parampara, we are all want to be associate of Lord Krishna in his joyous pastime, in his joyful pastime. No awe and reverence, right? Sometimes when you are thinking, we are just like preparing a situation, and suddenly you go to pluck some flowers, you go immediately with so much excitement. Oh, today Krishna is coming, I don't know how you're going to have a nice time with Radha Rani, wow. So you just go and pluck the flower with so much happiness, come back and give. And that they are trying to prepare the robe and trying to put the flowers on. Then they can hear the chick, chick, chick. You can see hear the sound of the kulusi. They're coming nearby. And after that, they go there and everybody start dancing, singing, and having so much of fun. Atam, Patam, Kondatam. Atam, Patam, Kondatam. That is our parampara. All right? Dancing, singing, festival. So that is our. So when we are there, we are under this parampara. So that we came for this, what they call, it is a kind of canvassing, Rupa Goswami. So we are all trying our best. All right. So then by mercy of our Acharya, especially Srila Prabhupada, he took this, can you imagine when you're having so much of fun, example, you are living in such a nice, beautiful country, you are so rich, wealthy, happily situated. Suddenly the king call you and say, now I want you to go to Ethiopia and I want to develop the country. How do you feel? What? Ethiopia or some remote place in Africa? Terrible, abominable place. Oh my God. So once you go there, there's two things. First, if you are the person who always take order without hesitation. When the king says, I do, no second thought. Number two, you must have so much of mercy. If you don't have these two, you cannot do that. Like our Prabhupada was told, he was very wealthy. Krishna took away all his property. So made him almost a beggar. Then after that, his Guru Maharaj came and told him, now take sannyasi. Then after that, he met this Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Maharaj and took him to Bhakti Pranya Keshava Maharaj, his god brother. and he was initiated into sannyasi. Okay, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Bhakti Vedanta was his honorific title that was given before he took sannyasi. And A.C., okay, his name is Abhay Charan. The father have given him the name Abhay Charan. Abhaya Charan. Abhaya means Abhaya. Bhaya means fear. Abhaya means fearless. Charan, at the lotus feet of, in the, what they call, in devotional service. By the servant of Krishna, he's fearless. But when he took initiation, he was given Charanaravinda. That means he's a fearless person under the lotus feet of Lord Aravinda, Charanaravinda. And because of his lot of writings and beautiful things, he was given an honorific title called Bhakti Vedanta. Right? So when he went and accepted sannyas, he was the name retained. The name that given by his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Abhaya Charanaravinda, was maintained. Then Bhakti Vedanta, what they call the honorific title, also maintained. And he was just add-on Swami. So Swami Maharaj. A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. He was given that initiation. Then after that, after translated all the books, he translated first 2 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. His spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, came and said, now you are ready, go to the West now. You know, imagine as such an old man, 69-year-old man. How much book can he carry? What he can do? You know, he was never worried about the food or about health and everything. He went and begged the Sumati Morarji, begged for a ticket. And the Sumati Morarji said, you will die on the way. You better die here in Vrindavan. You're an old man, do you remember that? He said, no, I don't care. Give me the ticket. He was so adamant. So she gave the ticket and he left. And of course, he went through so much of hurdle, so much of trouble. But why he could remain? So he went there. First of all, blindly followed the instruction of the spiritual master. Number 2, and he had so much of mercy. When he see this kind of material condition of people, he sacrificed his life. For all the devotees, to die outside Vrindavan is something very scary. But he took that risk. It doesn't matter where I die. I am under the shelter of the instruction of my spiritual master. And he left. He went to America. And he lived among these very notorious kind of people, abominable people. And some or other, he created this ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he translated all the books. And now the whole world is know that. Because he is Padita Pavana. Padita means what? Fallen. All right? Pavana. Pavana means to deliver the fallen. Padita means fallen. All right? Padita means fallen. Tarana or Pavana means the one who uplift. Prabhupada is real Padita Pavana. Prabhupada is real Jagat Guru. In fact, that some of the American, there's a guy, he gave a very famous person. He said, I have heard about Jesus, I've heard about Muhammad. Both of them created, but it takes hundreds of years for the religion to establish. But now it's the first, and of course, they preach among their locality. They preach in Arab, they preach in Israel, only this place. They don't go out. But now, first time I'm seeing that Srila Prabhupada is the modern age prophet. Is the modern age saint. Far beyond. Because single-handedly traveled the world 12 times, initiated 3,000 of people, established 108 temples, and the most important, he gave volumes of books. And the most important, he encouraged and inspired every of his disciples to be committed in these devotional souls. Imagine if you are involved in some multi-level marketing. You can do all the thing you can be, but not all your downlines will be a loyal follower. Not all the, say like for instance, Prime Minister Anwar, after you won the election, what happened? It looks like 2/3 of the people are still not supporting him. You can never get everyone to be your loyal supporter. But Prabhupada made all his 3,000 disciples to follow him very loyally, to sacrifice their life. to spread this teaching to every town and village in this world. That's why now recently there's a case, right? That Ritvik Temple, Bangalore took over won the case. You know, they were saying, oh, the ideology of Ritvikism is been established. Lord Narasimha Dev said, they wanted this. Come on. It doesn't make sense at all. How can you say that that the disciples of Srila Prabhupada not fit to be a guru? Because the disciple of Srila Prabhupada went and initiate someone, right? They went all the world. They travel every nook and corner on the planet. They initiate them and encourage them. That is why the fastest growing religion in the world, the ISKCON Hare Krishna movement. The whole world knows Hare Krishna. The burden, the sin burden of this earth has been reduced so tremendously, extremely tremendously. Reduced tremendously, sorry. You know, because the whole world chanting Hare Krishna. When we do Mangalarti in the morning at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and that's when the US part, they are doing Sandhya Arati. You know, when we go to, when we go into chant Hare Krishna, they are concluding their day, they are going to bathe. After we finish our program, and when the sun rises there, you know, when we go to bed, they're starting their Mangalarti, they're starting all these things. The worship is going on 24 hours, 24/7. Every second in the world, there are people chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. The burden of the earth has been reduced tremendously. There's not even a place in this world, there's no Hare Krishna mantra has been chanted. And this Hare Krishna mantra we chant within this material world is heard by Srimati Radharani in Goloka Vrindavan. So the connection between the Goloka Vrindavan to this dungeon, this earth dungeon, hidden somewhere in material dungeon, it has been connected. So there is a lot of auspicious things are happening. The golden moment. But this only lasts for the next 10,000 years. It's already 500 years has passed. We have another 4,500 years, no, 9,500 years. After that, everything is gone. The full-blown Kali Yuga will come in. If at all you get promoted to heavenly planet, finish. After you enjoy yourself in heaven, you come down, you don't see anything. You join that demoniac party and you fall further into this material condition of life. So don't desire for this kind of things. All right. So by the mercy of Prabhupada, the whole world has been saved. It's not a sentimental kind of this thing. Just look at his life. How could a man, even now I'm 47, now I start to feel body ache, this and that, you know, I need to walk slow. All kind of things happening in my body. By age of 69, it's not a joke. You know, he was celebrating his birthday on the ship. 17th birthday, he celebrated in the middle of the ocean. You know, then he had a heart attack. Can you imagine? You are somewhere stuck in the car in the middle of the jam, and suddenly you become breathless. Can you imagine? There's no ambulance can come and penetrate into that to save you. And there's no people around you can save you. You are stuck in the middle of nowhere. Just try to imagine. Say like you are stuck in a massive jam in a highway, in between of nowhere. And suddenly you go into breathlessness. Say like asthma attack, and you forget to bring your nebulizer. Oh my God. You know, you call 999, the ambulance cannot come because stuck. You know, and the people around you are not experienced to save you. Like that, we think we have people around us, but actually we are actually drowned in horizon of nothing. We are in the deep, we have a place that no one can save us. And yet Prabhupada went passed through all these kind of things. And he survived. And he made everything turn into the thing. So that's the thing. So it's only can be done if a person has so much of mercy and has blind commitment towards his guru. So to accept guru is very important, and to have the commitment, the blind commitment to the guru, it is also very essential. All right. So by doing that, life will be glorious. So now Rupa Goswami is getting so many candidates. All right. So thousands of people are candidates, goes to Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari. And the Rupa Manjari says, okay, I agree to take them. You need more training. So like that. So those who are under the training, say like if you're under police training, you have some kind of police immunity. Right? Say like if you're a trainee police, suddenly you come to Ipoh, do some nonsense things, suddenly policemen stop you. They say, you siapa? Oh, I'm Pulapul. I'm under the police training. Oh, police training, eh? Okay. Never mind. You kita punya member, jalan. Like that. So similarly, so now we have taken the things under the Rupa Manjari. Even we fail, actually we don't fail. Please remember this. We don't fail. All right. We are learning the do's and don'ts. Right. Now we are going suddenly, we are doing get diverted, then we go diverted here, diverted here. So all these kind of trainings we are seeing. No, we are just under the theoretical studies. Theoretical studies. Then you take the next birth, you perfected it. Then the following birth. So somewhere or other we are on the journey. So we are just looking forward in full of excitement and full of enthusiasm. In between the process of death, birth, it doesn't affect the devotee. You know, doesn't affect it. Thanks for the question. What do you call Vivan? All right. So now let's continue the last paragraph here. Then we stop. So we are in the race of Brahma Jyoti. That means the race that in other words, like Krishna's bodily aura. All right, we are under the aura. The aura is so nice, and we are this thing. We are trying we are trying with difficulty to reach other planets. Okay, we are trying to with difficulty to go to other planet. Yes or not? Like recently, there's a lady. I think there's a celebrity here. She went to moon. All right, just go near the moon, just this thing and come back. Roughly, stays in the orbit for what, 5-10 minutes. All right, the total journey, I think half an hour. Just fly up, see the moon, come back. I think half an hour to say like less than 1 hour. She spent $100 million US. She spent so much of money just to go near the moon and see and come back. Right? So we are trying so much of difficulty to reach other planet. But it is not difficult to understand the abode of Supreme Lord. But it's not difficult at all. This abode is referred as Goloka. All right, we must remember there's two words, Goloka and Gokula. Gokula is the planet Earth place. Goloka means it's a planet of that. So Go means what? Senses and the cows. So Loka means planet. All right, have you heard about this movie called The Planet of the Apes? So this is called Planet of the Cows or the Planet of the Sense. All right, Go means sense, cows and brahmanas. So in Brahma Samhita 5.37 is beautifully described. Goloka eva nivasatya akilatma bhuta. Very nice, this thing, okay? The Lord resides eternally in his abode Goloka. Yet, he resides eternally in his abode Goloka, yet he can approach from this world. He can be approached from this world. You can be approached. And to this end, the Lord comes to manifest the real form, Sachit Ananda Vigraha. When he remains in this form, there is no need for our imagining how we're going to look like. So since he's there in our form, in the deity and the drawing and everything, we do not need to imagine how he looks like. To discourage such imaginative speculation. Now let's look at this. To discourage imaginative speculation, he descends and exhibits himself as he is, as the Shama Sundara. So he came down his real form of Shama Sundara and showed that I am the one. Unfortunately, the less intelligent deride him. The people who are less intelligent, they deride him, they ridicule him, they reject him because he comes as one of us and plays with us as a human being. But because of this, we would not consider the Lord be part of us. It is by his omnipotency, that means many potency, that he present himself in his real form before us and display his pastimes, which are replicas of those, pastime in his abode. So which is the replica means what? All the Krishna book you read and all that chapter, Canto 10, Bhagavatam that we read and all these kind of things, other books that you read, that is the actual thing that Krishna does in Goloka Vrindavan. Right? The actual replica. All right? So like that. Okay, now it's 10:45. I think we stop here. So is there any questions? In the effulgent. The effulgentary. All right. We are stopping at page 20, yeah? The effulgent or rays of the spiritual sky. Okay, we are stopping at page 20, first paragraph. So tomorrow we read that first paragraph. Srimad Bhagavad. Oh, it's going to be a nice topic tomorrow. Right. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada. Right. So, any questions? Any comment? I hope you enjoyed the class today. Even though we started, maybe looks like a blues, Sunday blues, right? Because we took one day off. It should feel like, kind of this thing, lethargic. All right. So there's no question. Tomorrow is Ekadasi. Please remember Ekadasi. Tomorrow is Apara Ekadasi. So Apara Ekadasi means this is the Ekadasi opportunity. If you fast on this Ekadasi, all the offenses that you might have created towards devotee can be nullified. All right. So this is a very good opportunity to nullify all the aparat. We don't know what aparat we might have done, knowingly, unknowingly, directly, indirectly, or in this birth or the previous birth or many, many births before, we might have done some kind of offenses towards devotee. So today's opportunity for us to clear the aparat by simply fasting on this Apara Ekadasi. So the Apara Ekadasi fasting means what are the essential things you want to do if you are fasting seriously. So first is Tulsi Puja is a must. Then offering of nice flowers, Tulsi is must. Then other than that, to keep you intact, avoid taking grains, avoid taking grains. But the most important is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Right? When in that Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we chant without listening, and we pray to Lord Krishna that please give me the taste and the blessings so that I can go on chanting this mantra. And I know that I've done so many offenses against all the devotees. I'm not sure. I'm such an offender. That's why I'm stuck in this material world. I'm stuck in this material world because I'm such a great offender. So please give me opportunity to remove all my offenses against all the devotees in my past life, in my present life. Okay, please give me that opportunity. If not, please show me where I did offenses, because offenses is going to be like carrying a heavy burden that will never make your journey comfortable. Just imagine you're taking a rock and putting behind your sack bag. Your bag, a sack bag. But you take a rock and put inside and try to walk. How troublesome like that. So you need to throw the rock away. All right. So let's pray to Krishna. So tomorrow is Ekadasi day. So I hope that on Ekadasi day to discuss Bhagavad Gita is very auspicious. In one of the Mahatmas, also mentioned, the day of Advent of Lord Krishna, the day that this kind of holy fasting day, when a person studies Bhagavad Gita, he achieves lots of benefit. So we do not anchor for material benefit, because we know Krishna will provide all the material benefit. So we don't need to even think about it. But what we need to do is that we want that Prema Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti, so that we can chant attentively. Chanting Hare Krishna attentively is such a, you need to get a boon to do that. So let's pray to Krishna to get such a boon so that we can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra very attentively. All right. So with that, thank you so much for your time. See you again tomorrow. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhakti, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. All glories to assembled devotee. Gaura Premanandi. Hare Krishna.
Hare
See you again.
Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Bo.